Have you ever wondered if there's a hidden spirit guiding your every move? Could ancient guardian spirits still protect families today? In ancient Scandinavia, there was a small village called Thorsvik. It was surrounded by snowy mountains and thick forests. The people of Thorsvik lived simple lives, fishing in the cold rivers and taking care of their animals. Thorsvik was also known for its mystical traditions. Stories of guardian spirits were passed down through generations. This is the story of Bjorn, a brave young warrior, and his FYLGJA. Bjorn was a young man from the village of Thorsvik. He always felt close to the spiritual world. Since he was young, he imagined a mighty bear watching over him and guarding him. This bear was his FYLGJA, reflecting his strength and courage. The villagers often saw the bear's shadow following Bjorn, especially when danger was near. Bjorn's days were full of training and chores. Each morning, he woke up early, with the first light of dawn barely lighting up the frosty village. He would fetch water from the river, the cold biting at his skin, and then help his grandmother Ingrid with breakfast. Ingrid was a wise woman, respected in the village for her knowledge of the old ways. She taught Bjorn about herbs and healing, and together they helped villagers who came to Ingrid for remedies. After breakfast, Bjorn met his friends Eric and Leif for training. They practiced with swords and shields. The village elder, Gunnar, watched them. Gunnar was an old warrior and saw potential in Bjorn. "You have the spirit of a bear, Bjorn," he said. "Your FYLGJA shows your strength and bravery." In the afternoons, Bjorn went hunting with his friends in the forest around Thorsvik. They tracked deer and wild boar, always alert to signs in the forest. During these hunts, Bjorn felt his FYLGJA's presence the most. One cold evening, Bjorn sat by the fire in his family's longhouse. The wind howled outside. His grandmother, Ingrid, spoke of a troubling vision. "Bjorn," she said, her voice shaking, "our family is in great danger. The FYLGJUKONA, a bad spirit, has returned. She was once a guardian, but now wants to harm us." Bjorn clenched his fists. He'd heard of the FYLGJUKONA, spirits that could protect or harm families. Unlike FYLGJA, which were personal guardian spirits, FYLGJUKONA had their own will and could act alone. While usually protective, the FYLGJUKONA could turn vengeful if the family's legacy was harmed. Their family had somehow caused their FYLGJUKONA to become angry and seek revenge. "What can we do, grandmother?" he asked, determined. Ingrid looked at him with fear and hope in her eyes. "You need strength from your FYLGJA and HAMINGJA. When you're in danger, they won't leave you alone. They'll make you stronger. Together, they can help you face and defeat the FYLGJUKONA." Determined to protect his family, Bjorn set out the next morning. The cold wind bit at his face, but he felt his FYLGJA, the bear, beside him. As he walked through the forest, he whispered a prayer to his HAMINGJA, hoping for luck and guidance. Bjorn traveled for days through thick forests and over icy mountains. One night, as he rested by a crackling fire, he had a dream. A bright woman appeared before him, warm and kind. She was his HAMINGJA. "Bjorn," she said softly, "your courage and strength will guide you, but you must also rely on the wisdom and luck I give you." He woke up with a new purpose. The next day, he continued his journey, feeling the presence of his FYLGJA and HAMINGJA. As he neared the sacred grove where he had hoped to confront the FYLGJUKONA, he felt a chill. The air grew colder and shadows moved around him. Bjorn stepped into the groove, his heart pounding. In the center stood the FYLGJUKONA, a ghostly figure with evil eyes. "You dare confront me?" FYLGJUKONA hissed, her voice echoing through the trees. Summoning all his courage, Bjorn faced her. "I am not alone," he said. "I have my FYLGJA and HAMINGJA with me. You were once a protector of my family, but now you want to harm us. I will not let you." The FYLGJUKONA laughed, a cold, eerie sound. "Do you really think you can stand against me with just your spirits? Your family betrayed me, tarnished the legacy I was bound to protect, and now you need to be punished for their actions." His HAMINGJA shimmered into view, casting a protective glow around him. The FYLGJUKONA stepped back, her confidence shaken. "You were once a guardian," Bjorn said, his voice steady. "Remember your duty and leave us in peace." The FYLGJUKONA screamed and lunged at Bjorn, her ghostly hands reaching for him. Bjorn raised his sword, but the FYLGJUKONA's strength was too much. He struggled to fight her off, feeling his energy drain as her cold grip tightened around him. Just as Bjorn's strength began to fade, he experienced a rare and powerful moment. He saw his FYLGJA directly for the first time. The mighty bear roared and charged at the FYLGJUKONA, knocking her back. The bear stood protectively over Bjorn, its eyes glowing fiercely. The HAMINGJA shimmered brighter, and Bjorn felt a surge of energy. Bjorn stood tall and faced the FYLGJUKONA again. "I said I will not let you harm my family," he declared. "It is not enough to attack me like this. I am never alone in the dark." The FYLGJUKONA hesitated, her evil eyes uncertain. Bjorn stepped forward, his FYLGJA and HAMINGJA by his side. They combined strength, pushing the spirit back. "Leave us right away," Bjorn commanded. "Go back to the shadows." With a final desperate wail, the FYLGJUKONA vanished into the night, leaving the grove silent and still. Bjorn fell to his knees, tired but victorious. He had protected his family, not just with his own strength, but with the help of the spirits that watched over him. He knew now that the bond between the living and their guardian spirits was strong, able to overcome even the darkest threats. When Bjorn returned to Thorsvik, he was greeted as a hero. His family and the villagers celebrated his bravery and the spirits that had protected them. That night, Bjorn shared his story around the fire, making sure the tale of the FYLGJA, HAMINGJA, and the battle with the FYLGJUKONA would be remembered for generations. Now, let's learn more about these spirits. The FYLGJA, meaning follower in Old Norse, is a key part of Norse mythology. Everyone has a FYLGJA, a guardian spirit that reflects their inner self, often appearing as an animal. The FYLGJA stays with a person from birth to death. If the person dies, so does the FYLGJA. If the FYLGJA dies, it means the person will soon die. FYLGJA are seen by others, not by the person they guard, except in dreams. These dreams often warn of danger or death. FYLGJA protect their person, but seeing them while awake is a bad sign. The FYLGJA mirrors the soul of the person it guards. It has no desires or actions of its own, but shows the character and fate of its person. Sometimes, the FYLGJA appears as a double of the person, often in dreams or visions to give warnings. The HAMINGJA is a spirit of luck and fortune. Unlike the FYLGJA, the HAMINGJA can be passed from one person to another, especially within families. It holds the family's luck, influenced by the actions and reputations of ancestors. A strong HAMINGJA brings success, while a weak one brings misfortune. The HAMINGJA actively brings good fortune and happiness to people. It can change over time, reflecting the actions and character of its person. The FYLGJUKONA, or following woman, is a guardian spirit that can be good or bad. Unlike the FYLGJA, the FYLGJUKONA has its own will and can act on its own. They often protect families, passing down through generations, but they can become harmful, as seen in Bjorn's story. The FYLGJUKONA is a complex spirit, deeply connected to the family's history. They can bring protection and guidance, but can also turn vengeful if angered, or if the family's legacy is hurt. How are these spirits recognized in Norse tradition? The FYLGJA can be seen by others, especially those with special sight, and often appears in dreams as a warning. As for the HAMINGJA, you can feel its presence through the success and luck of a person or family, whereas you discover the FYLGJUKONA through divination, spirit journeys, and trance. The story of Bjorn, his FYLGJA, and HAMINGJA shows the strong link between people and these spirits in Norse mythology. These spirits are not just guardians, but key parts of one's fate and identity. They shape lives and family history. Bjorn's journey shows how courage, strength, and the help of guardian spirits can defeat even the darkest threats. It reminds us of the strong belief in the link between the spiritual and physical worlds, a belief that still fascinates and inspires us. As we end this video, remember that every myth and legend holds some truth about the worlds beyond our own. The stories of FYLGJA, HAMINGJA, and FYLGJUKONA show us the rich tapestry of Norse mythology, where spirits and humans are always connected. Thanks for joining us on this journey. Click on the next video for more amazing stories from the world of myths and legends.